Hello, everybody. I'm Johnny Calloway, certified thought coach, author of 3 books, host of the podcast Morph Into a New You. I'd like to talk to you today about anxiety attacks, panic attacks, the fear that drives them, and hopefully I'm going to give you some tools you can use to help you overcome those. I have battled with those things and the depression that is born by them to the nth degree. And along the way, I found some tools to help me overcome them. First off, anxiety attacks. Anxiety and panic attacks, either one. A panic attack, in my experience, not necessarily what is stated in the dictionary or whatever, but a panic attack is just a magnified anxiety attack, and an anxiety attack is fear unleashed. So the thing we're really dealing with when we're dealing with either of those is fear. And we can become seemingly hopeless, depressed, suicidal, because we feel like when we're having one of those attacks that we are absolutely helpless and powerless over them. My experience has been that is not necessarily so. For me, it is not so. And through my own form of thought coaching before I ever became a coach, I had to start doing things to change the way that I thought about life in general, myself, and bottom line is I had to change my internal dialogue. Now, is there a chemical imbalance that goes with all of that? I'm pretty sure there might be. And medication may for some people be necessary. My medication that I take is really directed toward my bipolar. But my bipolar is managed today as well. So the way that it worked for me is in the beginning when I was living in a panic attack, and one of the things that I learned is that the fear of a panic attack will create a panic attack, which makes all the sense in the world to me today, because when I'm in the fear of a panic attack, I'm all jacked up. I'm hypervigilant, looking for signs of a panic attack. And through my Course in Miracles studies, I've learned what we look for, we find. Seek and ye shall find. If I'm seeking my demise, I will find my demise. If I start seeking for healing, I will find healing. So the thing that really helped me the most and still helps me to this day, I still do them, not as vigilantly as I did in the beginning, but I wrote letters to myself from my God. And in those letters, everything, the way that I knew they were from that source within me that I call God, is they were loving, gentle, kind, encouraging. There was never a demeaning word in them. It was, I believe in you, I trust you, I want only the best for you. Without realizing it, well, I wrote those letters every day for over 5 years, sometimes 2 and 3 and 4 times a day. Now, my life allowed me to do that. And today, what I realized is what I was doing in that process was I was changing my internal dialogue. You know, in the second step of the 12, it says, we came to believe that a power in ourselves could restore us to sanity. And that is huge. A power, first off, it's stating that there is a power that's greater than me. That's the first part of that. And I'm willing to believe that it can help me with sanity. Now, that's my insanity. That is not just about addiction. That's about my bipolar. That's about my depressive thoughts. That's about all of that. But there's a catch that I think there's a catch that we don't typically catch. And that is, if I've got a head full of God can, God can, God can, and I've simultaneously got a head full of I can't, I've made it really difficult for myself. So as I'm coming to believe in that power that can restore me to rational thinking, because that's what sanity is, rational thinking, if I can simultaneously, as I'm beginning to believe in that power, begin to believe in me, it makes the job a lot easier. Now, I learned that the hard way after years of saying God can, and then being frustrated because sometimes He wasn't. Well, He was, I wasn't, because I still had a head full of, oh, I'm just one of those damn Callaways. I'll never amount to anything. Life is supposed to be this and it's supposed to be that. Well, what life's supposed to be, based on my belief in my higher power today, is I'm supposed to be happy, joyous, and free. And there's a big book that we refer to in the 12-step communities a lot, and it says God wills for us to be happy, joyous, and free. So what I'm saying is, if you learn to watch your thoughts, and you learn, because you've never had a feeling that wasn't preceded with a thought. You've never had a fear that didn't come from a thought. So if you can catch yourself as the anxiety begins to come on, okay, what am I afraid of here? Is there really anything here for me to be afraid of? And as you do that, now in my case, what I did a lot of times is I made myself make time to sit down and write one of those letters from Him. And in that, to me, true healing lies in my connecting with my brothers and with my higher power and my sisters. And in that letter writing, I got connected. And I began again to feel hope and a part of society. Because one thing that anxiety and panic and depression do for you is they isolate you. Even if you surround yourself with people, you can still be isolated. You can still feel like you're the only one that's having this problem. In connection, and hearing somebody else say, you know what, man, I understand that. In that connection, we begin to have hope. The hope will eventually turn to trust, and we will begin to heal. And it all begins with what's the thought that's driving this. I hope you guys come back and listen to more of my ranting, because I got plenty of it to do. I've been battling this dragon for most of my life. And now that I'm on the other side of it, and the dragon, for all intents and purposes, is tamed, he's still there. That beast is still within me, looking for every reason it can find for self-destruction. So, but today I have a whole list of tools that I use that help me catch it in its onset and not give in to it. It doesn't get to run my life today. But the fear thoughts, they still come up, but I'll have tools for them. So please join me again at another time, and we'll talk about other issues and other tools. Thank you, and you can find me at johnnycalloway.com. That's JohnnyCalloway.com. And at the bottom right-hand corner of the home page, you'll find a chat tab. And if you have a question, if you have something you want to add to this, whatever, you put it on there, and it's directly connected to my phone. Now, I do have, quote-unquote, a day job, and I may not be able to get back to you right away, but I will get back to you. And you can find everything I'm doing on there, my books, my blogs, my podcasts. Everything will be on johnnycalloway.com. Thank you, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas.